first, I want to welcome you to the Max Berger Pre-Law Fellowship Program workshop. I hope that you are all staying safe and staying healthy. We miss you all terribly in the Starr Career Development Center, and we look forward to seeing you all very soon. Just because the building is closed does not mean that we are not here for you. We are 100% working remotely, and we're still offering counseling and advising sessions and lots of workshops and webinars, and we hope that you take advantage of them. As I mentioned before, I'll be going through a very short PowerPoint presentation that describes the workshop. If you have any questions, I just ask that we reserve them to the end. And once the workshop is over, if you don't have questions, I realize you're very busy, feel free to leave the webinar. If any questions come up afterwards, which sometimes they will, just let me know and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Okay, so let's start with our presentation. Okay, so what is the fellowship program? The fellowship program was developed about 13 years ago as a way to identify high-performing pre-law students at Baruch and provide them with intensive law school prep. It's geared, again, towards assisting and propelling high-potential Baruch College students. And we'll talk a little bit about what we define as high potential. And the goal is to help these students who are interested in applying to law school to gain admission in some of the nation's top law schools. And I've just named a few of them here: Harvard, Yale, Columbia, NYU, and Cornell. And by the way, if you're wondering, I mean, with the exception of Yale, we've had Baruch alums attend all of the law schools you see there. Yale is the #1 ranked law school, and admission to that law school is very, very difficult. So it's not one of our feeder schools. Hopefully that will change one day, but I will say that from year to year, the other 4 schools that you see here are feeder schools from Baruch. Okay. How are fellows chosen? Okay, so the fellows are chosen from current Baruch College students who are freshmen, sophomores, and juniors who demonstrate a high level of academic promise and a desire to pursue a career in the legal profession. So what do we look for in the application? Again, we're looking for freshmen, sophomores, and juniors currently enrolled at Baruch. The program is not open to seniors or those that are about to graduate, and alumni or non-matriculated transfer students. You'll find out why that's the case in a few minutes. What we consider high-performing students are students with GPAs of 3.5 or above. Now, for those of you that don't have a GPA of 3.5 or above, please don't panic. We have admitted students with less than that GPA, but we did want to kind of set a benchmark and something for you to aspire to, and we wanted to give some sort of guidance. So that's why we, always say it's highly encouraged, but not required. And although not mandatory, preference is given to students who have exemplified a demonstrated interest in leadership positions, nonprofit organizations, volunteer work, community service, and participation in other aspects of the pre-law program here at Baruch College. So what are the program components? They include active engagement in the exploration of law school and the legal field, guidance in creating a competitive candidate profile for successful law school admission, and individual pre-law advisement, and student attorney mentoring match, which I will go into a little bit more in the next slides. And finally, cultivation and refinement of academic and professional skills that will lead to continued undergraduate and graduate school success. When does the program actually begin? The Fellows Program actually begins in the fall of your sophomore, junior, or senior year and continues through your senior year and beyond. So what do we mean by that? In the fall, when you return, late August, early September, is when you will be notified that your mentor packet is available for you to pick up. Again, assuming we're in the office in person. If we are remote, we will email you the packet. The packet will contain the attorney mentor match for each student and contact information for your mentor. It is the student's responsibility to get in touch with the mentor at least once this semester. The mentor will also receive your information. So what information will the mentor receive? Basically, just your resume, not your personal statement, not the other components of the application. We don't share any of that information with the mentor, okay? We do share your resume so that the mentor can have a way to contact you and have a sense of your background, okay? Occasionally, once the mentor receives their packet with your information, they will be so excited that they'll contact you directly, which is absolutely fine. But assuming that they don't do that, we put the onus on the student to contact the mentor. So let's talk a little bit about who the mentors are and how they're selected. All mentors are either Baruch alumni or friends of Baruch. What do I mean by friends of Baruch? They might be professors that teach at Baruch. They might be people who have come to our pre-law society meetings as presenters and want to get more involved. So these are people that that the program has had a relationship with for as long as maybe 10 or more years. All mentors are New York State licensed attorneys. We do have one mentor that's a judge. The mentors have specialties in a variety of different practice areas like criminal law, corporate law, tax, trust and estates, arts and entertainment, and many more practice areas. The way the mentor match is made is by taking your application, noting what you're interested in, and matching you up with the mentor that closely matches the practice area that you have indicated on your application, if you indicated one. Okay, so let's talk about what is a mentor. So a mentor is a person or a friend who guides another person, a less experienced person, by building trust and modeling positive behavior. An effective mentor understands that his or her role is to be dependable, engaged, authentic, tuned into the needs of the mentee, and mentoring involves a series of ongoing and little successes, and sometimes big successes. We hope and expect the mentoring relationship will last a lifetime and not end once you graduate. So what does that mean? If, for example, you're a freshman right now, you get your mentor match in the fall, we're hoping that you stay in touch with your mentor beyond your time at Baruch. Many of our mentors have, and this will, I'm gonna get to the next slide on the do's and don'ts of mentorship and how the mentors can help you now and in the future. So the don'ts, right? A mentor relationship is not a job search or legal recruiting mentorship. Although what we have seen over the past 10 years is that it can and will lead to these opportunities. But we saw in the slide before that that's not the primary goal of the mentorship relationship. It is to provide information, it is to be a resource, and to answer questions for you. Please avoid personal relationships. This is meant to be a professional relationship. Someone that serves as a resource and answers your questions about the legal profession, law school application, and various practice areas is what a mentor does. Each mentor and mentee will receive a pamphlet. So you will receive a pamphlet and the mentor receives a pamphlet of the responsibilities and duties associated with a mentor-mentee relationship. So it will give you a lot of ideas, like, should I call the mentee or mentor? I'm sorry, should I call the mentor? Should I send an email? And on the mentor side, the mentor might get ideas on how to engage with the student. So you'll have a pamphlet to refer to when trying to decide how to approach the mentor and mentee relationship. Again, as mentioned before, we ask that you agree to speak to your mentor at least once during the fall 2020 semester. We used to ask that you at least meet once face-to-face. That was pre-virus. Now that we're post-virus, a remote meeting is absolutely fine and acceptable. So that concludes my very short presentation. I encourage you to just do very well on your final exams, because even though things might be pass-fail, you certainly want to pass everything and stay strong. And if any questions come up afterwards, whether it's on this program or any other aspect of pre-law advising or law school, please email me. I'm here and I'm available. So I want to thank you all for participating.